Yo, what it do? My name is Alma. Alma as in spirit in Spanish, as well as the name of the creepy ghost girl from Fear. So, anywho, uh, today I just kind of want to talk about my progress in my hormone therapy. It's been it's been a couple months since, or it's been a little bit since October 28th. So a lot has happened, a lot has changed, and I kind of just want to go over that. Originally, this was going to be sort of like a big overview of like how I got to this point, as well as like the experiences I had like as a kid that eventually lead me to decide that I realized that I am transgender. Um, Again, the attempts I made on the video was like too long, and it was very unorganized. So I just figured, okay, let's just make it simple for like a first vlog and just talk about my progress like right now. So yeah, uh, some things I'd like to apologize for. To begin with, obviously my room is a motherfucking pigsty right now. Post holidays, post getting ready for school, and just generally putting off all this stuff for other needs I have. Uh, Probably in the next video, I'll make sure to tidy up. And then I also apologize for any like background noises. I just live in a apartment unit with uh, other students for the university I'm attending. So, yeah. Without further ado, let's talk about where I'm at. So, to start things off, right now I'm just doing monotherapy. I'm not gonna get into the details, um, but I'm taking, well, certain details. Uh, Wait, you couldn't tell that I was winking with like my hair put off to the side. There we go. Anyways, I'm taking estradiol and anthate. Um, my dosage is usually 0.35 milliliters weekly. Originally, the idea was to do it every 10 days, but I just eventually fell into just doing it weekly, which, yeah, it's a really high dosage. Um, I felt it was only right in order to suppress like testosterone as much as I could, since I'm only taking estradiol and anthate. I'm not taking like spirulactone or any other like T blockers or any other medication at the moment. So that's what I have. It's been working, so that's good. Um, okay, explain that. Explain that. Yeah. Okay. So I mean, yeah, basically just 0.35 milliliters weekly, estradiol and anthate. And I've been doing that since October 28th. Um, so obviously all of the hallmarks you hear about when undergoing hormone therapy have happened. Again, skin softening, the development of booba, um, that redistribution has already happened to an extent. Maybe not like crazy noticeable, but sometimes I freaking notice it. And I'm very happy about it. Anyways, but probably the main attraction for me that also came up pretty early was how undergoing like hormone therapy would affect like my emotional sort of state, I guess. Because I felt for a while that I've been very like blunt or what's a word for it? It's on the tip of my tongue. Am I a moron? Am I an idiot? Am I a troglodyte? I can't find this one motherfucking word. What's okay? Okay. Here's some point. For a while, I just felt like I couldn't feel the emotions I wanted to feel properly. So when I started taking estrogen, I noticed that I felt more like in touch with my emotions. If there was something I felt like internally, I would feel it coming out as I felt like it naturally was supposed to do, which was great. Obviously, that's also led to a lot of emotional problems too, but honestly, I think it was for the better, because if I kept just bottled, that stuff stayed bottled up, like as it were, like naturally, I feel like I freaking do something that I'd regret. So it's helped like leagues. It's helped a whole lot. So that's been super great. And it started like almost immediately, basically. Like, I decided to rewatch. What's the name of the movie? Is it a movie? No, that was a game. I decided to replay. I mean, um, Unreal, like the 1998 FPS game. It's kind of a hyperfixation for those who know me, obviously. But the thing I noticed was like beforehand, I had already felt like in touch with like the music, the atmosphere of like the game, the colors in it, the environment. But all of a sudden, like after like 2 weeks of undergoing hormone therapy, I everything just felt even more like lush, and I felt like so like connected, like emotionally, like even to a far deeper extent than I had already been, to the point that like the game brought me to like actual physical like tears, and it was quite literally unreal to me. And then yeah, I did watch something. I watched the '79 Nosferatu movie, and um, I was just like far more gripped on what I was watching than I had ever been like beforehand. It's like prior I was able to understand like that maybe I was getting some sort of emotional response from something, but it wasn't outwardly. It was all like internally and such. But then now I was able to like feel like I could express that. Thus, I didn't build up pressure either, too. Because then that became another problem. Was a lot of the time a lot of my pent up emotions would just explode out of nowhere. Like I'd just have like outbursts like out of the blue. And I was just like, okay, I'm done with this. Because any form of like anger management or like therapy and stuff like that didn't work for shit for me. But then all of a sudden it's like probably one wanting to transition had been a long time coming. So being able to fulfill this finally helped me, or it just it lifted my spirits, I guess, for the lack of a better term. But then also being able to just vent off those emotions without feeling like they were beholden to me was just freaking amazing. So happy about that. Yeah. I guess other than that, I did also notice my face has changed quite a bit too. Uh, since then, obviously not too much because I'm pretty sure you can probably see like my 5 o'clock shadow like through my makeup, which I hate, but it's a lot less noticeable than pre-hormone therapy. Um, yeah, with all of this like in mind, a big thing that I noticed too was when I look in the mirror, I just feel like super content and super happy because then it's like I'm seeing myself, like I'm seeing me for once, and when prior normally I'd get this feeling that I was like spectating myself in a way. Like I was having an out of body experience while being in my own body, which was kind of a weird thing to try to explain like during like psych sessions or to like family like over the years. But then it's like after this, I just feel like all of that stuff has like lifted. And it's like insane to me to think about. And sure, I have a lot of issues that I still need to work on, but I feel like more than before, I have the tools and like the capacity to deal with them, and then also the ability to look at myself in the mirror and not feel like I'm just spectating myself. So I mean, yeah, to say that hormone therapy has been great would be an understatement if I'm being honest. Um, yeah, sorry if maybe this whole thing just went on into kind of like a hard to understand ramble. I'm kind of new to this stuff, and in general, again, I have some conversational struggles. So, yeah, I'll probably get more in depth with that um, for the next vlog that I do. Um, maybe I'll touch a little bit on that right now. Um, I mean, I want to summarize it like in short. Like I was always kind of like a soft-ish kind of kid, and a lot of like other kids, especially boys, would kind of put me down for that. Uh, back. Okay, anyways, I'm getting old. A lot of kids would make fun of me for that. Um, Around like third grade, there was kind of a situation with my music class. I was supposed to be part of like a play or something like that. A bunch of like my peers who were like boys and stuff like that were messing around. They got in trouble. I got lumped in with them, and my teacher said something to the likes of, "Oh, this is why girls will always be better than boys" and stuff like that, which is just like a throwaway statement and such. But I took that to heart as a kid, and in an indirect way, it kind of stuck with me through high school into college from a built up insecurity with myself, as well as this yearning and wish that I had been born differently, that I had been born like a girl, maybe, or something. Like I sometimes wear my mom's clothes, something, or try them on to be like, I wonder what it's like to wear this stuff. Or like, oh, these don't have pockets? That's interesting. It was like sort of like research, stuff like that to me as a kid, and I didn't realize just like how much that had, I guess, meant to me. I guess it's that the word I want to use. We'll go with it. Um, but yeah, that happened. I started drawing myself a lot as like a girl and like outfits I'd have. And I also started having dreams, especially around like middle school, when me and my family PCS to um, outside of the states. Um, like I started having like dreams that I had woken up as a girl or I was in a lesbian relationship because, oh, well, but someone else who's like me, who, is emotional and maybe vulnerable. Again, those were also probably some really bad preconceived notions, again, built up over time by these ideas of, I guess, what gender is, I guess, to the general public. Which was funny because when I was a little kid, I didn't really think about that stuff all that much. But then, you see that so much in like cartoons and like schools would like really enforce that stuff a lot that, it became ingrained to me by the time I obviously was in middle school. But anyways, like I just had these dreams about just being vulnerable with someone else who was also femme, like cuddling, watching the sunset, and talking about things. And yeah, all that stuff together coalesced over time to me deciding roughly at the beginning of last year that, okay, I think I'm finally going to accept that I'm trans and I'm just going to start working towards where I'm at now and hopefully where I'm at in the future. And yeah, that's pretty much that. Summarize. Again, I think I could go more into it in another video, or not. Maybe I think maybe that's more than enough. Uh, I mean, one thing I should probably mention about that was around that middle school period, that was like 2016 and such, that was like the whole big Vine thing of people posting like cringe compilations, and obviously, you know, like there's a lot of like slander towards, well, slander and libel towards people who are transgender, and as such, being a middle schooler, I went alongside that bandwagon and used it as a tool to try to suppress these feelings that I kept having, these dreams that I kept having that I felt were wrong after, you know, tagging onto that bandwagon. But yeah, that's a part of that. Sorry how unorganized this whole thing is. Yeah, that summarized. Already talked about where I'm at with hormone therapy. Um, maybe I'll talk about the things that I'm hoping for and the things that I want to, I guess, help me out just a little bit more as I keep going. For one, the reason why I wanted to like make a video in the first place was I really just want to get input from people, like whether it be one-on-one or just like someone's impression from like a conversation, or again like a video like this with like my face in it, where you can maybe read my emotions or something like that, as hard as it is for me to, you know, talk and all that. But yeah, I just want other people to maybe reach out, maybe give me their peace of mind about their experiences and such, uh, as well as, you know, things that they'd recommend I do, or yeah, just what to expect for the next couple months and years to come. Um, that's kind of why I wanted to do. I also just wanted to start a whole vlogging thing in general, uh, just for the sake of it. I'd like to build up not a community. I don't really want. I don't know if I really wanted to get to something like that, because I prefer this to be more of like a small one-on-one personal kind of thing. But again, I just want to be able to talk to people about this stuff. Especially, I feel like at least in the area I'm in, I really haven't had any of that on like a regular basis. Um, I did go to this focus group today for trans folk, which was a relief that I had a resource like that. But um, in the university, even in areas designated for LGBTQ folk, there's this place called the Pride Commons in it. I feel like I don't really have like any like friends or anyone I can go to talk to, like whether it be about this stuff or it's just like in general here. Like all of my friends at this point are online or in the place I lived in prior to moving where I'm at right now. So I don't know, I just want, like, I guess I just want some more friends who are in the same boat as me. Yeah. I also want an excuse to talk about things that I like too. Uh, whether I'm the best ambassador for those things or the worst, just want to talk about it. Stuff like arena shooters, I guess, maybe. Makeup, horror movies I love, splatter flicks, uh, industrial music, that sort of jazz, or in this case, that sort of frying pan noise. Yeah, let's do something like that. And then also to just continuously show my progress, because I know I'm expecting a lot of changes to come, considering how fast things have already been. Um, yeah, I think that's pretty much it right now. Sorry for how schizo this whole thing may have been. I apologize. Maybe I used like any terminology that maybe you don't think is the best, or maybe I talked about something that I don't know, maybe is not super comfortable, but I don't know. I'm just improvising. That's all. I don't have a script for this. But yeah, I'm Almond Joy, and hope you enjoyed this first vlog thingy. Toodles!